Okay, so given my last video when I thoroughly discussed Chris Versteeg's haircut, which is admittedly a bit atrocious, I have a message from somebody who goes by Chris Versteeg on Tumblr who said, who asked me who was my favorite player and what was my best hockey moment. I don't play hockey, so that's obviously going to be good. But my favorite player, it's sort of a toss-up. Like, when I first got into hockey, I was a fan of the Panthers. This was 2 seasons ago. David Booth was out with a concussion, but I'd heard what he was capable of. I heard how good he was. I was just like, this guy knows what he's doing. This guy isn't it. This guy knows what's going on. This guy is clearly the best player that we will ever have on this team ever until sometime 40 years in the future. This is what I thought back then, that we win a cup. And then he got traded, and I was really sad. I really liked Booth. I didn't want him to go away, but at least he enjoys Vancouver. But Booth will definitely go down as my first player. He still is one of my favorite players, but I don't keep up with him as often as much as I'd like to anyway, because when I am asleep, Vancouver is usually playing a game. And when they came down here, I had tickets for that game, which I gave up for a Pittsburgh game that we lost. And he wasn't playing that night anyway. He was still out in injury, so that's unfortunate. As far as other players, I'm a big Crosby fan. I wasn't at first. In fact, yesterday marked the anniversary of the day I really started to despise Crosby, and it took me almost a year to get past that. A year! So, yay for years, I suppose. And then I also like a lot of other players, but you asked me for one, and I've already named two, so I won't go into that. Best hockey moments would probably be last season. Florida's home opener was against Tampa Bay. Yeah, it was their home opener. It was the first game I went to all season, obviously. And Tampa Bay was supposed to be the huge team that year, as they obviously were. They made a big playoff run, but we beat them 4 to 6 times that year. And that first game, my dad and I had just bought season tickets for the first time. They were awful seats. We ended up changing them. But the thing was is that we won 6-0, 6-0 against a team that was top tier that year, and that had to be one of my proudest moments. Like, I was just like, my team knows what they're doing. This is awesome. We're gonna go to the playoffs. We're gonna win the cup. And this was last season, of course, and we ended up dead last season, so that clearly didn't work out. But this year, seriously, we've got our shit going together. Still, I consider it one of my best hockey moments because, you know, it's games like that you go home and you don't just forget about the next morning. You remember those games. I still have the ticket from that game. I could show it to you. I just don't want to leave right now. But games like that, when you see your team really just come out and do everything right, and the people you love, the team you love, like they're your own children, put so much effort into a game like that, it makes you the proudest effing mother to ever exist. And I was a proud mother that night. I was 15, and I was a proud mother. I could not have been prouder, honestly. They've done performances like that this season, but not at home, so I've gotten to enjoy them from the comfort of either this chair or the couch at my mom's house, which isn't nearly as glamorous. Speaking of glamorous, Versteeg, cut your hair. Yeah, but that's all for that right now. Favorite player, I'm still gonna put David Booth. Favorite hockey moment, that game, 6-0 against Tampa, and that would be it, I guess. You guys should keep asking me stuff. I'll just I'll put the light like here, so you don't have to see as much as my face. You know, works out for you guys. You don't go blind, and I'm okay. So my voice isn't that bad, I suppose. Yeah, that's all.